Hi, my name is Faris Alsree. I'm a sophomore. I'm a transfer student from Sunway University, and I live in Subang.
My name is Jiwei, last name Leong. I'm currently a freshman studying biochemistry. Um, this is my second semester in UW Medicine, and so I have three things that I wanna improve on MSA. Personally, I feel that MSA the current committee has done a really good job on achieving their goals, which is prioritizing, uniting, and supporting Malaysians while at the same time cultivating and gratifying relationships with the campus community and also promoting intercultural changes. I can see that through the events that MSA hosted, they're really doing a good job on that, and I want to continue on, passing on what the current MSA committee is doing, and then on top of that, I want to because I feel that the events hosted by MSA is pretty limited on the budget. So one thing I want to do is that I would, if elected, I would try to pull more sponsorship partners so that we can expand our events in terms of scale and quality. And the second one is that since MSA and I have similar goals, which is to promote intercultural exchanges, I wish to promote our, both promote our events to the campus community, and as well as inviting other cultural organizations into MSA, and then so that we can share what our cultural beliefs are, and then what do people, what kind of festivals do people celebrate in their country, and then so that we can open our horizons, and then to widen our horizons, and also to promote relationships between people around campus. And one more is that I would try to acquire more facilities in order to assist existing and new students to MSA, and to students in UW Medicine as well. So, like, for example, people are quite worried about where do I put all my stuff during summer if I don't have a house. So, like, especially for people staying in their dorms, I wanna, during summer I don't have a house. I cannot shift my things right away into my future apartment. So one thing I would like to do is that I would acquire more facilities so that people don't have to worry about these kind of things. And then I understand that MSA has airport pickup as well, and so I would like to add more accessibilities to these functions. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Go ahead. Faris.
Okay, I think I speak for most of us when we say that our goals in MSA is to acquire more sponsorship, to finance bigger events, and at the same time to promote the Malaysian culture in the US. But this is what we all want, and this is what has been our goal for a long time. But I think today I'll be stressing more about something else, something we have forgotten. Instead of being so focused on finance and cultural manifestation, I think we should more focus on the fundamentals behind this whole thing. The thing that's gonna, because we work on a single thing, everything else will come into place. So my main goal, this is the main goal, as the president of MSA if I were to be the president of MSA, it would be to promote unity among us Malaysians. So when I say unity, I'm referring to the special bond that we have with our brothers and sisters of different races. This is something very unique in Malaysia, and we should really, work to have that, to have more diversity in our events, to have more people, to have more participating members. Because honestly, I don't really see a lot of those around here. For instance, if I'm not trying to say anything I'm not trying to offend anyone, but we don't really see a lot of. Do you see a lot of majority of Chinese people in Hari Raya events or Deepavali events? So, and vice versa, So I'm trying to have more diversity in all our events, because that's something we can talk about, that's something we can be proud of, and that is something we can show to people, our diversity. But why is it so important? We have about 200 Malaysian students here, and I believe with unity, we can hold bigger events, we can build stronger relationships, promote the Malaysian culture, and strive for a respected reputation in our uni. So I think that's something that I would really want to focus on, unity. Thanks. I think when I first came to US, I think that I was really treated well by you guys. You guys, picked me up from the airport, brought me and showed me around, and that really opened me up, Say I never felt so welcome, before. And I feel like, it's a chance for me to repay the MSA, the Malaysian members, and I think it's, if that was to be, something that I wanna, if I were to join the MSA to help my other friends, that is something I would really want to do. Thanks.
For me, it's similar to Faris as well, because when I came here, my fellow Malaysian badges have truly ignited my enthusiasm and passion to serve in this community. So as I've observed, MSA is a platform where existing and new students meet, and a group where one can celebrate their traditional festivals together, despite being away from home. And most importantly, it's a very supportive community that ensures one's sense of belonging. You see, for Malaysians to travel 7,000 miles away from home, it's quite a difficult thing for them, because one thing, they don't have anything to depend on, and what MSA does here is that MSA is a place that where Malaysians can go to, and where Malaysians can find help, where Malaysians can get assisted. So this is and I've truly felt that when I'm here, I truly experienced that, and because of this, I want to continue to make this happen to future students, and so that we can make people, the new students, feel that there are always people there for them whenever they meet difficulties. And thank you.
Thank you.
For me, I have a very wide connection with other student organizations, such as the Chinese Student Organization, the Visa, and then other, because I have a lot of friends, and then a lot of friends in those student organizations, and they are part of the community as well. So one thing I can do if I'm elected, so one thing I can do is that we can communicate with those student orgs and to cooperate with them, and then so if there are any events, we would try to take part in that, participate in that, and as well, and at the same time, if we have any events, we will invite them to our events, and then to experience what Malaysians do. So but during these events, there's always an awkward moment where people don't know each other from two different organizations. So one thing we can one thing you can do is that we can create like during these events we can create ice-breaking games or ice-breaking conversations and other activities to closing the relationship between Malaysians and other students from other organizations. So I think this is a really good way to connect Malaysians from MSA and other students from other student organizations.
Wouldn't you think that it's going to be hassle if you do ice breaking for every event that you're going to have?
I don't think so, because ice breaking I think is a really essential part of the event, because even if you don't do ice breaking, imagine that if people are like feeling awkward, your event your event wouldn't have any meaning, because the people who are participating are Malaysians go on one side, and then maybe other people from other country go on another side. Like it's like they form a group within themselves and not participating in that event as a whole. So that's what I thought. I'm not saying that I choose diversity over unity.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I see that it's because I see unity in Malaysians already, but it just has to be fortified. Malaysians gather around each other for a reason, because they are comfortable with each other, and then whenever every Friday we create a bubble tea session, and then other social events going on within Malaysians, and yeah, because we're so close to each other, we know each other very well, and then we know our cultural background, we know what's happening from each region in Malaysia, because we come from different places, and we also understand that because we are Malaysians, we stick to each other a lot, and so that's one thing I want to change, is to spread Malaysians out into the campus community, share our experiences and our cultural differences with students, international students, the locals, whoever they're connecting with. So yeah, at the same time of fortifying unity through events, we are promoting diversity as well.
So for you, which one is more important, unity or diversification?
So I would say unity is more important, because why I'm promoting diversity is based on the unity we have, and then the unity within our community has a really good foundation, and because I really believe in a saying that together we stand, and united we stand, and if we are apart then we fall. So like take all the empires, like ancient civilizations, for example. Why did Roman Empire fall? Why did Babylon Empire fall? Why did the Indian Empire fall? Except for Chinese. Chinese have withstand everything for 5,000 years. Is because of their unity. So I think unity is really important, and because I know we have that unity in our community, we are going to promote diversity as well.
It's definitely not an easy task to promote unity, but I think there's two main things that we should really focus on in our events. I think the two main things is under encouraging people to attend the events. So the first step is definitely to, to promote the event itself. So we should not just promote in MSA once, we should continue to promote in MSA and Marketplace and all these different pages we have. And the second thing is like we ourselves, like we have friends, our friend members. So I think we should personally invite them to attend our events. We should try to encourage that a lot. So not just among the Malays, for this event, and then the Indians for this event, Chinese for the events, all at once. Personally invite your friends, and something like that's something I really believe in. Maybe we can look at it in two different ways. I think because of the half of the Malaysians will be graduating this year. I think we can look at it and say we could cut our budget. We can spend less money on food for events because we have less people coming in. But I think a better idea would still to encourage more of these non-active members. We have to find these people, encourage them to attend. And I think unity is something that is spread. If we encourage this group, and it will continue to spread and spread and spread, and we will make sure that it's spread towards these non-active members as well. And in the end of the day, we'll still have the same amount as we had previous years.
What do you mean by non-active members?
Non-active members are members who never even heard of MSA. Like Hannah was telling me about this person who was in medicine for like 3 years, and he had never heard of the MSA.
Mm-hmm.
Because he lived in dorms, he never really communicated with our Malaysian friends. So to find them, we will definitely, probably the only way we could locate these people is through mutual friends. So we need to unite all the Malaysians to really participate in actually inviting others to attend our events. I really believe that we can achieve, because especially the newcomers, these are people we should be also targeting as really promote unity among the newcomers, because they will continue to spread and spread and spread. But I think a lot of us are actually quite new. After this year, even if we leave, I think it's possible. For 1 year, we can really achieve a lot if we continue to encourage, continue to talk about unity and stuff. The way I look at unity is like this. I told you that we should encourage. The Malays should encourage Malays to attend, Chinese encourage the Chinese to attend, and Indians encourage the Indians to attend. So when they're all at one event, every single event, don't you think they will mix and mix and mix and mix? So I think with unity we can expand, and the more people that attend every event, the more they can communicate with each other, and the closer they get to each other, and the equal diversity. We can build diversity. I think number one is unity.
Okay.
So some major problems we encounter is that time. Time is one very limiting factor for this graduation night event. I would say it's making separating like school assignments and school exams. One thing I would say is that it's our mistake that we underestimated the workload for planning this event, and then we would so in my impression, the MSA interns, we tend to see this graduation night as an event that is still very far away from. I'm staying at a point before spring break, so and until spring break is over, we realized that April is near, and April 21st is just 3 weeks away, and we started to double up our efforts and yeah. So time is a very limiting factor, and then I admit that we didn't do well on on time management, and so I would really want to improve on that, and then as well bring time management to the MSA committee, so that we can like plan events in advance and plan everything before, get everything set up. And then another thing I observed is that the ways that we handle chaotic moments. I'm not. I mean, from a point of view, not only in this graduation night that we have chaotic moments, like everybody's in a mode that we rush up everything, we rush to accomplish everything, but also like during TJM, during other events that MSA hosted, there are some chaotic moments that we have to improve on, like and underestimation is one of the main issues. One big reason is that we, as I mentioned, we think that this event is still really far away, and then we didn't take this really. I mean, for me, I didn't really take this into account. I mean, the time constraint, and then because I thought that this event would be ready in a month's time. So I started working on listing suggestions for video, and then listing suggestions for fundraising, listing suggestions for performances and games during events around end of March. So that was one of my mistakes, one of my fault, and I promise I'll work on that, and as well as for other members as well, and that we would improve on being more efficient and being more and not underestimating the time that we have.
Okay, thank you. How about you, Faris?
I think, honestly, we managed. Our time isn't the biggest problem. I think that even though we were given a task very early, but instead of like straight away implementing it, we started brainstorming a lot. So we actually, I don't want to say it's good to procrastinate, but I think that we spent a lot of time on brainstorming, and after that, when we were going to implement it, everything got into place very easily. Everyone had their own ideas and just start thinking, and then we decide what to do and stuff. So I think time isn't a big problem. I think the problem would be finance. I think QA did a great job actually to get, sponsorship from Potbelly. But I think that finance, we should actually really focus on our main sponsors. Our main sponsors are like Education Malaysia Chicago. Those are the guys we have to please every single event. We have to tell them that you have to keep giving us money. So to do that, we have to give them a reason. Why should you keep on giving us money? And in fact, maybe you should give us more, because these guys are the guys who are going to be staying with us a long time, and they're going to be continuously sponsoring us. So I think instead of having a lot of events, big events, I think we should also focus a lot on the quality of the events. Because when we invite a representative speaker from the sponsors to come and watch our event, I think that we should exceed their expectation all the time. So that gives them so they will say that money well spent. They said, oh, okay, this event is I had a great time. So that will keep them coming, and maybe give us more in the future. Okay. So I think it's not a problem. It's just something that I want to make it better. better events to get more funding from them. I think one of the organizations that I'm planning to really focus on to get sponsorship from is UMNO. Some of us talk about bringing UMNO to medicine, so that is something that is going to help us a lot. So I really hope to work on that so that can happen. So it'll be just like another Education Malaysia of Chicago, another main sponsor, rather than going to having to bring in sales for this bringing profit organization every single event. Instead of doing that all the time, we should just have major sponsors for us. UMNO, that's why. I think if I could explain to them the purpose of having this UMNO organization more clearly, more directly, I think people would not disagree. Why should you disagree? Just because just because you don't like this party doesn't mean you can totally say no. It's not your choice. It's still the MSA board. MSA committee. So among us, I think our committee, our future committee would definitely be okay with this because it's bringing us a lot of bringing us sponsorships. So I think that's something that's a backbone. So if you were to say no to that, I think I'll talk to them and I'll make sure and then again we try to not really do a lot of politics from UMNO. Rather we just have it as a name, just sponsor UMNO.
Do you think UMNO will agree with what you want to do?
We definitely cannot. We cannot say it to UMNO. We should. We should negotiate with them. We still should give it a try. Even if I don't think they will disagree. I think they would still want to promote themselves. Although even if they think that we just want their money, but at the same time we can negotiate with them. We can still have some some political politician giving some speech come over just to make them feel happy. I don't think they will totally disagree on that. UMNO is rich.
Why instead of UMNO you don't consider university funding? Like we have AIS, WOOD, ASM, we have a lot of funding here. Why don't you consider that?
Okay, based on my knowledge from ACHAP, we did have a lot of our events was actually sponsored by AIS, and it's maximum 2,000. Am I right? And we have that for graduation. Am I right?
No, we didn't get that because they are out of funding.
Okay, so that's the reason. There are still. We can have AIS. We want to bring in as many as we can. AIS is definitely one of the and to get sponsored from the university, if I'm not wrong, it's a lot more difficult, and they only sponsor their in-house and not really on the international organizations. So if I could get from the university, I would surely try. But if it's easier to get from UMNO, I think I'd rather get from UMNO.
Can I have a suggestion?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. I think it's better to focus more on local communities. Like what I did for this graduation night is to pull sponsorships from Port Valley's Debris and then Yazas. These are the three very popular eat-out places and hangout places on State Street. And one thing I feel that they're really supportive of student organizations, because I've observed Port Valley's they give fundraising opportunities to each and every student organizations. It's just that the process is a little bit tedious, that we have to apply for a tax exemption for this student organization. And MSA is definitely a non-profit student organization and is eligible for tax exempt. It's just that the procedure takes a longer time. So for this Port Valley, we should definitely do it because they already gave us an application. They already kind of guarantee that we have a spot, and as long as we just hand in our tax exam. And there are a few organizations that already achieved in doing fundraising with Pop Valleys, which is Badger Crew, that they have this. They are gathering scholarships for students to go to their events, which cost around $200 per person, and they have successfully done this fundraising with Pop Valleys, and I feel that local communities are more supportive. So why not we focus more on local communities and to gain their support, and also some other like restaurants that serve Southeast Asian cuisine, that we could relate to them, because we are always catering from Awan Karo, and it's not always free. So one thing I can do is that we could find restaurants that serve Southeast Asian cuisine, and when people are craving for that, they can just go there and have a meal. And because of this of a higher customer flow, increased customer flow, I would really recommend partnering with them, gaining their support, because I think it's a mutual beneficial process. Thank you. Actually, bringing 200 students to this to increase their sales and to help us fundraise is not a really hard process, because MSA now already have 150 students around there, and this does not, and 200 students does not constrain to only 200 people does not constrain to only MSA members and Malaysian students here in UW Medicine. It also includes other customer flow, like normal customer flow during that time, and then this easily adds up to maybe 300 people during that time period. And yes, so I think it would be really possible for us to do this fundraising with local community. So yes, one thing, this is one of my neglections, and not considering food is halal or not. So one way we can do is that by asking people to go to Pub Valley. I mean, not Muslim students, but other people that we know, and we have connections with. Like, for example, we can ask, because I stay in a dorm, I can ask my dorm people to go there just to help us out, just to help us fundraise, and also promote this in other student organizations, and so that they can and they will it's highly possible possible that they will help us out if we ask them to go help us fundraise during that time period.
I mean, if we were to have that kind of fundraising for events, if we were to have 12 events in a year, so wouldn't it be very troublesome for us to have that before every single event? Then we can just have a main sponsor that would sponsor us if we just simply ask them to, I mean, it's definitely a good idea if we don't have enough money for a certain event, and if we have to do a fundraising, that's definitely a good idea. But I don't think it's for a whole year, I don't think it's a good idea for us to keep on fundraising every single event.
But it's the same question as well. Don't you think it's don't you think it's less possible for you to ask UMNO to support you every time before every event? Because I know it's a Malaysian organization, but UMNO is one very big organization in the US, and you would have to really get in touch with them before you get the funds. So there's one Chinese saying that rather than depending on relatives far away, you can depend on your neighbors that you're close by. So so for yes, I really thought about this reducing number of incoming students to UW medicine, and and also considering the factors that they might not be participating in this MSA. I would, because the number is already reduced, and I don't think that the prices, the cost for every event would increase. We could still because there's less students participating in these events, and we don't have to make it ensuring quality, we don't have to make it as big as it is, as big as it was like the past few years, like this year and last year. And yeah, so with the same amount of money, we can increase with the same amount of money, hypothetically, we can increase on better quality of the events, and because we have lesser students.
I think we've been talking a lot about sponsorships and our financial situation, and I think we will continue to talk about that as we prolong. I think it wouldn't be a big problem if we were to charge. It wouldn't be necessary for us to charge them a little bit more, because I think that we will always find a way. Cause this is something is a backbone, so something we will be always talking about and always focusing on. So I think it wouldn't be necessary for us to charge them an extra $5 each, because based on like our ideas, and we will continue to try to find more sponsors and try to do a lot more fundraising. It wouldn't be a big problem. I wouldn't, even if half of the Malaysian Malaysian students that graduate, it wouldn't still be a problem. It wouldn't be a necessity to increase the fees. I think the only time we're gonna ever do it at the union would be the major event like graduation night. Other nights, most probably, we wouldn't be spending money on the place if we can just get it for free. So I think only the major events you'll be doing on something grand. Other events, I think it's not necessary at all. And I think Abang Carol has helped us a lot, and I think I will continue to work with him because his food is really good and he charged a very reasonable price. And I'm close with him, so I think maybe in the future, I think he's the guy. He's still our guy. So I would still work with Carol.
For me, as Faris has said, normal events like normal events we can do it during in the education buildings, like classroom and stuff, since there's less restrictions towards food, and also and also like whatever you want to do in about the event. And for those major events, I wish to I have actually the same opinion with Faris, because it's only the major events that and those events that we don't have to involve any cultural or ethnic backgrounds. We can use the unions, because since they don't provide any they don't allow any food inside, and take graduation night for example. Since Malaysian food isn't a necessary element inside this event, so it would be wise to do it in the union. But for other festivals, since the MSA is ethnic club, many of our events would have traditional festivals and involves traditional food. So all these events that involve this ethnic elements would be in classrooms, and we could do it outside as well, like doing a tent or something, which is low cost, and as well as ensuring that the ethnic element is still in there.
I think we failed to do Malaysia Night this year, and next year that's one of my biggest goals. To have a Malaysia Night where we invite students from all the universities, because we had TGM, and I think because we won't be having TGM this year, so I want to do it. I want to have a Malaysia Night. So I think that would be also one of the big events that we will be holding. And I think that's something I would want to go for, because I'm sure that I know that's your goal in your previous end, but so I want to make it happen this year.
So yeah, other than because I thought Malaysian Night is an event that only Malaysians could take part in. I wish to do something even bigger, which is integrating. It's like the ultimate intercultural exchange. It's like asking people to come together, like other student orgs, like international students especially, coming together at one place, sharing their things they do back in their country, like ethnic music, sharing ethnic food. We can do a potluck. We can do the other night for the people who can play different type of music, and also basically culture sharing between international students and Malaysians. So that is one of my biggest major event in mind.
I know that we sign up intercultural festival every year. How can you attract students come to your event?
So we saw for this. My goal is to because MSA has this goal that to promote intercultural exchanges, and I know that there are organizations that like Visa, which incorporates all types of internationals to come here, in one organization, and there are other like the Chinese Student Association as well. So one of my intentions is to cooperate with them, but rather than asking them to attracting people from away from them, because with this aim in mind, we have to make our share our Malaysian heritage as widely as possible, as widespread as possible. So I think by cooperating is one really good one really good method to get everybody to know Malaysians, get everybody to know what we're doing, and to enjoy our hospitality as well. Yeah.
I mean, I think if you want to get people to see Malaysia, and so I think Malaysia Night would still be a better idea than having everyone else, because I want for Malaysia Night, it's going to be all Malaysians performing. Try to get as many members as we can, because it's going to be all about the participation rate is going to be 100% Malaysian. Mm-hmm. So that would definitely, I think that would totally show that we have done our part. Bringing Malaysians together, bring the unity, the diversity. That one big night would really show that we have succeeded. And we definitely will invite international students to attend and stuff, rather than having them to be a part of the attention. We take the whole stage and let them be the audience to see all what we have done. And that would be my vision of Malaysia Night.
For me, by integrating all these elements inside each event, I think it would be a great idea if we could not only Malaysians share their own thing, but also other international students share their thing as well, because as international students, we are one of the minorities on this campus, and minorities, by being minorities, we have to how do you say, by being minorities, we get a better chance to share each other's cultural background, and then because since we have less people and the locals are majority, so it's a great chance, and then Malaysians can show their thing, as well as and we also have to give chance to other people to show their thing as well, in order to cultivate this relationship with this campus community, and to promote this intercultural exchange, which is one of the goals of MSA.
WISA won't make anything that emphasizes you. It's going to be emphasizing every single different association, international association there is. So if you do like a WISA event, we won't specifically, unless you do like a Korean night, which it was called Korean Undergrad Association, unless you do something like that. But if you want something that involves a lot of other associations, don't expect your association to shine more than others. It should be working.
So do you have any solution to that?
Because one thing is that because this MSA, we have our own festivals that Malaysians have, festival. We celebrate festivals that other countries don't. For example, Deepavali, Hari Raya, and even Chinese New Year, we are different from the Chinese because we have elements that the Chinese don't, like like lion dance and all these kind of things. We can only find in Malaysia, and it's our own unique way of celebrating Chinese New Year, and it's different from the Chinese, and it's what I observed during my 6 years in China, and so because Malaysia is so diverse, and there are so many cultures integrated in this one big community. We celebrate our own. We celebrate this festival in our own way, in our own unique way. So it would be, and then and because of this, we already have the chance to like while celebrating Hari Raya, while celebrating Chinese New Year, while celebrating Deepavali, we already have all these opportunities to get together, to as a whole, as a united team or community. So so why not give a chance for Malaysia to achieve one of these goals, to promote intercultural exchanges to other associations.
I mean, food, I'm planning not to include food as something we should pay for. I still think Abang Carol should be the guy. So instead of having dinner during the event, we should have it like before the event. And on the event itself, it's just going to be all our performance by all the Malaysian students. Will be acting, singing, and perform instruments, and as many performances as big as we can get, as grand as we can get. It's just the performance will be the Malaysian night.
So there won't be any food?
Food will be done before the event by Abang Carol. We'll meet up somewhere, and we'll have probably transport to bring all these students to the place where we will be performing.
Okay, so is there any certain place that you can think of?
I think my biggest goal, my optimistic goal would be Overture Center.
Overture Center.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Do you know how much it costs for a night at the Overture Center?
I know it's really expensive,
Okay.
but I think there's still a chance where we could spend that much money on, having a large event, huge event like that. It's not going to be that event. Malaysia Night is not going to be, when it's going to be towards the end of towards the end of our year as a,
Okay.
as a committee. So I think that's going to be the biggest of all the biggest. I'm going to make this the best Malaysia Night ever.
Okay, so how about the food? Do you have any particular place that you can think of?
I mean, food, again, it's going to be done by Abang Carol.
Okay. How about the place?
Place for the food.
Yeah.
I think we're not gonna have it. I think we should have it in a place in campus, and then from there, I said we arrange transport to go to Overture Center.
But
Maybe
people-
it wouldn't be that far, Overture Center. I think the problem we had was in TGM, where one is at Surf and one is at Net.
Yeah.
So I think,
Do you have any solution for that?
I think the only solution I could think of right now is having a transport.
Transport.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a bus, a random bus, just to go back and forth from the,
But having a transport basically
but I won't, whatever it is, I want it to be. I want to try,
Mhm.
try the best I can to get it over the grandest place of all,
Okay.
Though it might not come true, but from now, I think I'm gonna, look at that as a place I would like to have Malaysian Night.
Yeah. Then how about the performances?
Performances, again, it's gonna be.
As we know, for our Malaysian Night also, it's kind of hard for us to find performance.
Given the number of members going to be around
Yeah.
70, and if maybe half of them still want to be the people watching rather than performing, how are you going to do that?
I think rather than looking at it as a problem, I think this is where we can take this opportunity to make an effort to encourage. Like I said, if we have a smaller group, we have more ears, rather than big groups. So with this small group, we can communicate with them better. So I think with a smaller group, we can still make them, it's easier for us to talk to them than a big group. So I think we could still, there are still talents within this group. I'm pretty sure, and I think that, we should just. I'll be talking to, whoever looking for throughout our events. Throughout all our events throughout the year, we'll have performances. A lot of performances by these people. So I think I want to get, all these performances to continue performing for all the events. And towards the end, these are the people who's gonna be, shining. I wasn't talking about so much on the instruments, but I'm talking about the dance from the Anatan and her group. Those group, I want them to be really active. At the same time, I want them to bring in people at the same time, Lik Shing. I want those people who are, who's already performing in Forest. I want them to recruit more people, continually performing throughout. I'm going to pester them to, perform in all our events. So these guys will be the people I'll be looking at. At the same time, they will have their eyes on others as well. So on Malaysian Night, we will pretty much be prepared, because it's always them. So we will make sure that these guys have they have a sense of responsibility that I'm gonna continue. They will have the feeling of it's also my responsibility. Malaysian Night is also my responsibility. The people who are the performers.
Tough question. I'll try to make this as clear as possible.
Just follow up.
Okay. I would say, not saying that Faris is not outstanding. I would say that I'm more kind of a practical kind of person that we could, make efforts to make host things that is in our reach, and to create to reach goals that seems to be that are possible, and also so basically what I think I can do is that I can using my connections, using my knowledge of this campus, I can be more practical in terms of raising money, in terms of promoting events, in terms of organizing events, and I think practicality is really an important factor to consider, because being too irrational and being too events that are out of reach is really one thing that people would make effort to do, but in the end efforts would be eventually wasted. So I think practicality would be a really important factor to be considered in doing everything we do. So, and also I would say that if I'm elected, rather than being a president, president is being more than a leader. It's I can be if a president is also being a listener and a cooperator, a supporter, and a friend of everybody, of the community members of the Malaysian community, and that's what I can do if I'm being elected as a president.
I think being a leader for me, being a leader, it's about influence. How can you influence your people? And as opposed to him, I'm not a realist at all. I can tell you that, but I'm a super optimistic person, and I think that's what I wanna, bring it to the people that's under me. I want them to be optimistic as well. And of course, people might have a lot of doubts, whether it's, he talks a lot but it never happens. But I think knowing you, knowing how much, knowing Achap, knowing how much he, suffers a lot in MSA, so I think I know the standard. Suffers a lot for MSA, so I think I know the standard. I know how much it takes. How badly, how busy you're gonna get, how a lot of effort you gotta put in. But I think because I know that already, I think I'm prepared. I'm prepared to go through hell, and at the same time, I want to be optimistic about this. I want to do, I want to exceed expectations from every event. So I think that with this optimistic, mindset, I think hopefully it will spread to my committees as well. And in the end of the day, we will be having, we will do things that exceed all our expectations. I think that's a definition of a leader, a good leader for me. So I think that's what I want to live up to. I think firstly I have a lot of ideas. I want to share. I want to implement these ideas, and I want. I'm not just the person who's gonna, do things and do it just like that. I always want to exceed expectations. I want a good committee that follows me, and I think I'm gonna work towards that. And again, I serve. Everything I'm doing is for the members. Everything I'm gonna do is for the members. And also at the same time, I'm satisfied if I see events like the graduation night, if it becomes super successful, I'll feel good about myself because I did it for you guys. So I think that's about it.
Okay.
For me, first of all, I would like to say really big thank you to each and every one of you for being so supportive and encouraging that that all of you, like, brought me up to this, that I have this courage to run for this president, and I believe I can lead you well because first of all, I have already much experience in leading a group and being a team member as well. And my definition of being a leader is that being a leader, a president of the committee of the board, is also being a team member. Is that you play you are also a member of the team. You are also someone that people can ask you for opinions, ask you to do something, because being a good leader is to listen, is to be supportive of all your members and committees. So yeah, and so I have one thing I know that is that I know I have really strong faith in my committee members, and that they would continue to pass on the goals of the previous committee, and we also share the same values and same values of bringing the group, the MSA, to a whole new level. And yeah, so thank you all for that.